What's up, big dog?
What up?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can, bud. I got
Good.
the old Brandon Lewis with me here.
What's
How you
good?
doing?
What's good?
Not much, man. I like your name. We got the same name.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I appreciate you stopping by the old BoomerCast, bud, and chopping it
Yep.
up with me and Brandon for a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You
I
know
like
it's
to,
always love.
What's up?
I say, it's always love, man. Boomer Sooner all day.
Boomer Sooner, baby.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like to connect fans with players past and just give a lot, like a little history of OU football. A lot of people don't really know too much about it. Is that your daughter
Definitely.
there?
Yeah, my daughter Jaden, man.
Nice.
That's my
She
daughter Jaden.
she gonna be a future baller or what?
Man, she'll probably man, we're gonna get her in the business, man.
Yeah,
We're gonna
there.
get her
That's where a real
Yeah,
baller
that's where
happens.
it's at.
get her running a company or have her
Mhm.
own. Man. That's the plan. That's the goal.
She'd be signing those ballers checks, huh?
Man, know it.
For sure. So we're here with Brandon Caleb, wide receiver at OU. Was it 06 to 2010?
Yeah,
Uh,
2011.
2011.
Yeah,
Nice,
my
man.
sophomore year, I got tore my lateral meniscus, so I got that extra year.
Nice. And so, that was with Bradford. Is that what that was? The
Yeah,
QB then?
Okay.
What was it
okay.
like catching a pass from Sam Bradford, man?
It was cool, man. It was cool, man. Sam, man, he's always been down to earth guy. We came in. It's crazy. I didn't even understand how big of an athlete he was until we got there our freshman year. He played basketball, ping pong. I mean, anything. He was just a guy, man. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I heard he was a scratch golfer, man.
Oh yeah, he did play golf too. I never picked up the clubs, man, but I heard he was nice with it too.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't hit a golf ball to save my life, man. I tried it.
Same here.
I tried it before in high school in the old golf team, and it just wasn't happening, man.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, like me, I got my own golf set, but I'm trying to learn because that's like a networking sport. So I'm trying to get into it.
Man,
Yeah.
only the icon is Top Golf. That's about it.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, do they have one of those here in OKC?
So I think y'all got one there. So look, I'm in Texas, man. I'm in
Oh
Hazlet,
yeah, that's
Texas.
right.
Yeah,
I'm from
so
Texas myself. Where are you from?
So we live in Hazlet right now. So we're kind of like we're like right on the outskirts of Fort Worth. So
That's where I'm from. 817.
okay, that's what's up.
Nice. Heck yeah. So and then Atlanta, Georgia, Fork Union Military is where you went to high school.
Yeah, so originally from Richmond, Virginia, man. So I went to started attending Fork Union Military Academy my 8th grade year in Fork Union, Virginia. So it was it was a blessing in disguise, man. Because truly, I couldn't have predicted that I would have been going to a all boys school in the 8th grade, away from home. But just seeing the bigger picture, at the end of the day, I had an older brother that played football, and the recruiting process didn't go, the way that we wanted it to, so my mom was like, hey, I want to send you to a program that can help you when it comes to actually getting you a scholarship for college.
Nice.
So, yeah, man, it was cool. Met a lot of good people. It's just a brotherhood, man. At the end of the day, I still got guys that I talk to that I went to school with, and, it really prepared me for Oklahoma, just far as just being a student and an athlete, at the end of the day.
So the recruiting, you were talking about the recruiting that was just going to Fort Union. Your mom sent you up there to get better offers from other schools. And so you picked OU over Georgia Tech, Cuse, Syracuse, and both Virginia schools. Can you tell like the difference between the OU recruiting versus them other schools? Like was OU like far better, or was there anything that they did special to say, hey, we need you, big dog?
I'd say, at the end of the day, I'm originally born and raised in Richmond. I looked at UVA, Virginia Tech. Blacksburg was cool. It's not a lot out there. And then I looked at UVA, and I was just like, yeah, I think a lot of people when wherever they're raised, they typically stay close to home. And for me, I just had an open mindset, just far as just I actually went down to Florida when Urban Meyer was the head coach. So I was actually at Florida too. But it's just, I don't know, it's just a different feel out there. Just didn't, kind of sit with me. But looked at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech was okay, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't really, at the time they didn't really throw the ball a lot. And then, I looked to came out to Oklahoma and loved the campus. Just talking to Miss Teresa, my academic advisor. And then, just going through, OU has a tradition, when it comes to football and winning. And I just want to be a part of it. And I just felt like it fit, at the end of the day. I felt like I would be successful there. And it was a pretty easy decision for me.
I hear that a lot. At least you weren't considering going down to play in Austin, man. That's you got any good Texas OU stories for me?
So the funny part, man, Texas never recruited me. But I'll say I'll probably say my freshman year, man, was really when I kind of understood the OU Texas rivalry.
Yeah.
Because of course, when I came to Oklahoma, my official visit was it was actually a home game, so it was OU versus OSU.
Nice.
So it was a night game. It was a lot of fun. So I really hadn't experienced, OU Texas. So I'm trying to think OU versus Texas memories. They're all good, man. At the end of the day, I think we might have been 3-2 when I was there. When we played Texas. I had to look it back up. But the biggest part is just playing in it, man. My redshirt year, my junior year, I got to play in it. And it's just electric, man. You all have been to the games. At the end of the day, it's always one side that's hype, and it's always one side, that's down. And it's like you gotta make sure that you stay even keel, throughout the game, because it's a lot of ebbs and flows and ups and downs, and you got to bounce back, at the end of the day. So I'll probably say my junior year, I got to play in it a little bit more compared to special teams before that. And it's electric, man. It's definitely it's unexplainable, driving in the buses, and everybody's beating on the buses as you get closer to the locker room. So it's definitely a great rivalry.
Nice. My wife got to experience the traffic last year by herself, because I went down there the night before. We played a flag football game for this kid Tyson Edwards.
Okay.
He just passed away from cancer, but it's a group of Texas fans and a group of OU fans, and then we play against each other, and we lost, but our quarterback threw back-to-back pick sixes to begin the game, man. Oh, it was rough, man.
Whoever wins the turnover,
I know. Every time, man. Every time. Heck yeah, man. So after you were saying electric, man, I've never played on a stage that big, but I've played on a pretty big stage, like for high school, but I couldn't even imagine 80,000, like, was it about 80 or 100,000 fans just on top of you? Like, it just seems like they're just, it's crazy, man. I couldn't imagine how just keeping your wits about you, like you said, and even kill.
Yeah, you get used to it. I think at the end of the day, man, you lock in on the game. You go into the game, you're prepared. You've watched your film. And, everything else is, the fans and stuff, that's, they're kind of like the outlier.
Right.
And at the day, when you're on the field, man, you gotta you got to lock in and know the play and, execute. And, when you get to the sidelines, that's when you can kind of, experience the crowd, when it comes to everybody screaming and stuff.
And you actually got to spend a little time in the NFL as well in Philly, huh?
Yeah. So we of course my senior year didn't go as I planned. A lot of politicking and stuff like that. But I always say, man, God has a plan. And I got to go out to Philly. I was out there for about 3 weeks during the preseason. And man, it was a blessing, man. I got to be around Michael Vick, at the time, and Vince Young, and they still had Jackson and Jason Avant, and Coach Andy Reid was still there. So, man, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. They do everything top notch, man. The facilities, the way we travel, just the way they conduct themselves, man. It was an awesome experience.
Oh yeah, I've been screaming "Fly, Eagles, fly" since I seen Randall Cunningham play the quarterback position, man. That dude had me hooked, man. The first time I seen him play, I was like, that's my squad right there. That was like the dream team, right? The self-appointed dream team.
Yeah.
Vince Young and Mike Vick.
Yeah.
Nice. Man, Mike Vick, that dude, I'm sorry, but he got railroaded. I don't care what anybody says, and I mean, it, like you said, things happen for a reason. And
yeah,
I'm just having a hard time understanding what that reasoning is, but man, he was so electric. God dang, he was electric, man.
And can toss the ball like it's nothing, man. Just effortless. But I mean, that's, man, just show you guys talent, man. It's some people they're just off the chart, man.
So what kind of man was Michael Vick? Like, he's an interesting fella, man.
Yeah. So I didn't honestly, I wasn't around him a lot. But I mean, he's pretty cool. I didn't, from what I observed, and, Deshaun Jackson and, those guys, man, it was real down to earth. I remember after practice, Vince Young was leaving. We're leaving the facility. So if you weren't currently on the team, they have a little bus that would come scoop you up. And he was I was just kind of sitting out there waiting. He's like, "Hey, you need a ride?" I was like, "Yeah." So this guy, he has a dually truck, right? A dually truck. I want to say it was at least on 26s, 28s.
Nice.
But I was real down to earth, man. It was a cool team, cool environment, and it was a great experience, man.
What kind of what was it like? Were you there with when Venables was around?
Oh yeah, man. Coach Venables, yeah.
So what is your thoughts on the future state of OU? I think it's going to be grand, but
yeah, man, Venables, man. I knew so when everything happened, as far as just him leaving and going to Clemson, I knew only one position where he would come back, and that was head coach at OU, because I mean a lot of teams wanted him, while he was still at Clemson, but he loves defense so much. I was like, man, there's nothing's gonna pull him away from defense. You know what I'm saying? And then the whole Lincoln Riley situation happened. I was like, oh man, I was like Venables. I was like, that's like an easy easy shooting. Just because his passion for the game, his love for Oklahoma, man. I just feel that the biggest part, and even under Coach Stoops, was just doing the right thing. We used to say when we were back in school, is just, man, what are you doing when nobody's looking? Yep. Making sure you're doing the right thing when nobody's looking. And when they named him head coach, I was like, man, it's on and popping, man. They about to bring that, especially on defense. They about to bring that swagger back. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be head hunting. So I'm excited to see them, especially with them transitioning to the SEC. I'm excited to see how they gonna do, man.
Yeah, that's the swagger you talk about. OU hasn't been feared for 3-4 years, like the last 3-4 years. when you line up against OU, they don't really care anymore. Like, but they will. They're gonna be putting. Oh, you're gonna be putting some dudes on notice for sure.
Yeah. And it's just a mentality, at the end of the day. And I think with Venables, man, he brings the right mentality, especially man, I think they won 2 championships with Clemson.
Yeah.
While he was there, as a coordinator. So he's seasoned, man. He knows the game, especially with the SEC. He knows how teams play, and guys, man, they're gonna be over ready. Just put it like that. He'll make sure that they know to be in and what holes and all that. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good experience.
Man, I was reading this crazy stat, something like Clemson's had like 480 plus sacks when Venables was there. Like, that is insane. There's like over 1,100 tackles for losses. Like, that's just,
man, when I tell you, he lives, breathes, and eats football. Like,
right.
I remember him catching guys in the hallway, just asking them about plays and what would you do in this situation. Like, the defense is going to be ready for sure. The team, we don't really have to worry about offense, you know what I'm saying? But the defense, they're going to be ready.
And that's another thing that's different about Venables than the coach who left for SoCal. He has expectations for his players, but he expects the same out of himself. And he takes accountability for what's wrong. Like, if you're playing for a coach that takes accountability, you're going to hold yourself accountable as well, because you see your coach is whole, like, so you're going to follow somebody that's whole, I think, more than Riley. Like,
yeah, he was. I think at the end of the day, man, Venables, and I think, I have nothing bad against Coach Riley. You know what I'm saying? I think at the end of the day, man, it's all business.
Mm-hmm.
It's sometimes we can feel like it's personal, and maybe the way they left, it wasn't the best taste. But I think at the end of the day, man, like Coach Stoops said, man, Oklahoma's gonna be there, no matter what coach comes in, and that they're always gonna do what's right, and what's best for the university. And I mean, you look at it, man. We had winning seasons with Riley, man, and we're gonna continue with Venables. At the end of the day, so I feel like the right people are there, and the people that want to stay there, they're gonna be there, and they're gonna represent the right way.
Well, you say it's like a business, and like the players, fans, everybody's got to get used to that now. With the NIL, like there's no line in between amateurism and being a professional anymore. Like that's done. So like,
I think it's good. I think it's good. I think at the end of the day, man, especially for the athletes, because when you look at the numbers, when you got a less than 3% chance of making it to the next level, a lot of guys, man, for them to get some money in college and potentially put that in the bank or start a business or whatever, man, I'm excited for them, because everybody's before the players, man, everybody was getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Everybody getting paid except the players. You got the coaches and the AD and the presidents and the alumni. I mean, not the like the board. The board for the university. So I mean, at the end of the day, man, I think it's good. And I mean, I see it as players, man, being even more motivated to try to strike a deal. Playing harder or whatever the case may be. And it's just, man, it's just like life. At the end of the day, life isn't always going to be fair, and everybody's not going to get equal treatment. At the end of the day, but if you can muscle through it and understand, like, hey, man, I'm gonna use this platform while I'm here. And because you get 4 or 5 years, and then what I'm saying, you out. What I'm saying, you to the next. So it's just like make the most out of it.
And that's another thing that could be good is it could entice a player to actually stay the full 4 years and get a salary for 4 years. And there is one thing though, I believe that NCAA should provide some kind of like financial literacy classes, like just some way to guide these student athletes away from predators. Like there's so many predators out there. People are just wrong people out there, man, taking advantage of them young kids, man.
I totally agree. I think at the end of the day, you're 17, 18 years old, man. You're young. You really don't understand. You're not thinking, 10 years down the road as far as investment. You kind of living in the here and now. And definitely, I feel like they should set them up for success as far as, if you get a $500,000 deal or $100,000 deal, how to invest it and, stuff like that. So, no, I totally agree.
And along with that NIL is the transfer portal. Like, do you think they should have some kind of limit on how many times you can do it, or like maybe like I don't think you should make them sit out, because that just takes away from the player development, and that kind of defeats the purpose of you playing football. If you can't develop, you're not going to go anywhere past college. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it should be. I think you should be able to at least, everybody has different circumstances. I think you should be able to at least, of course, transfer once. Once you start transferring 2 times, it's kind of, you start looking sideways, like kind of, what's kind of going on. So I think there should be some type of limit, but I also think, there's always exceptions. You know what I'm saying? Of course, with the coaching staff change and, coaches bring their recruits and, now you don't have the opportunity to play or whatever the situation might be. Of course, I think you should be able to go where you have an opportunity to get some film, at the end of the day. So I think it should be some type of limit, but I also feel that I don't know what that limit might be. I think everybody kind of has different circumstances. Yeah. I would say if a coaching staff change, I think you should be like, hey, you should be able to transfer, no issue. It shouldn't count against you, far as, how many times. But if it's just like, hey, I got here, didn't like it, now I want to transfer. Now I get here, I don't transfer. I'm like, you gotta put a little limit on, guys just moving just to move.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's actually gonna be a football player next season, the season coming up, that's gonna be playing starting his 4th season with his 4th college football team.
Okay, making history.
That's insane, man. Right? That's crazy.
Is he playing, or is he just transferring?
He's a wide receiver. I don't think he's playing like a whole lot. Not anything spectacular, I don't think, but
I got you.
Spectacular enough to make the news anyway.
I got you.
But the thing that I don't like about the portal is because so you're a team in need of a quarterback. You got a junior quarterback right here. He's got 3 years in NCAA, but then you got this high school senior. Like, who are you gonna pick? Do you think maybe some student athletes are gonna miss out on scholarships because of it? Because you're gonna want to take experience over trying to teach a freshman how to run your system or whatever.
I think it depends on every team situation. Some people I want to take the guy that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? And some I want to go with the surety of, hey, we need to win right now. So, go with the experience. Let's go with that junior. But I think, as far as from a coaching standpoint and what's best for the university, they probably make those decisions, yearly. At the end of the day, what can build the team and what can make us the best, what can make us compete, at a high level. And right. Like you said, man, everything, the whole name, image, likeness, man, it's changed the ball game. But I think and even with the transfer portal, I think it's good at the end of the day. I think for those guys that when I was there, I thought about transferring and I ended up staying. But you never know. You never know where, if maybe you're not playing as much or maybe, it's a coaching staff change and you get to go somewhere else and now it's a breath of fresh air, and you get to compete, and next thing you know, you're starting. But I think at the end of the day, it can be tough. It can be tough for an athlete, especially if there's politics, involved. When it comes to, because I mean, at the end of the day, we all know what happens. It's a part of the game. And when you're a student athlete, man, you don't really have that much power as far as, you don't want to be from the team, but you also, you want to be able to compete, on an even level. So it's a tough situation for some guys, and that's why I think some guys transfer, and, at the end of the day, you just wish them the best. It's like they got a short period of time, 4 or 5 years, and then, do they make it to the next level? If they don't, at least they gave it all that they had for those years. So I think, like I said, man, it's a business. At the end of the day, it can be cutthroat at times. You know what I'm saying? But I think, as an athlete, you just got to understand. You always got to look after yourself.
Yep.
At the end of the day, the universities, these pro teams, they're going to look after themselves. So you got to always do what's in your best interests and live with it.
But, and you got to have your mind right to compete at the top level. You got to have your mind right. And, if your situation's not right and you're not 100% in, you're not going to dominate like you should dominate or think you can dominate,
Right.
Definitely, man. So I like to, I'm going to go ahead and cruise out now, but I like to end with who, a what, and a why.
Okay.
So we'll go, so top 15 yards out, who would you go one-on-one against? Best at it 5 times. How much do you think you could get? And like, who's going to be guarding you?
Who would I go against? Let's see. Who did I used to compete with? Man, I go with Jonathan Nelson. That was my boy. So J-Nell. So best out of 5. Man, I give myself at least 3 out of 5.
Nice.
At least 3 out of 5. I gotta go. We used to call them one-on-nuns.
The one-on-nuns. Nice.
We used to compete, man. It was I think, back in the day, man, it was more so about winning championships.
Yeah.
National championship. And I like where it's at, as far as just getting recruits and, being flashy. But I think at the end of the day, once we're on the field, man, it's trying to lock it down, and I think, we had a squad, man, where, we got down, at the end of the day, we wanted to win, and, we'd do whatever we had to do, as far as within the lines and the whistle. And we competed, man. We had a bunch of guys that came out, Malcolm Kelly, Joaquin Iglesias, Manuel Johnson, Gerald McCoy, CJ Ayu, Adrian Peterson, Alan Patrick, Gabe Lynn.
Gabe Lynn used to bring that wood, son.
Yeah.
Boy, Gabe Lynn used to. Oh, God.
Rain.
Yeah. Man, Gabe Lynn was so good, man. Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, we had a tradition. DeMarco Murray, Sam Bradford, Ryan Rolls. We just had guys that just love to compete, at the end of the day. And I think that's, I think with Venables, they'll get back to where we were.
When I was watching some old clips of you, and the last clip I seen was you did like a little 8-yard like button hook or something, but it totally put that dude on his ass. It was funny, man. He faked him out so bad.
Yeah, man. We just took time, man. We we would get the and catch extra balls and just trying to get better, man. That was the goal. Try to get there and win.
So what is your definition of success?
Success, I would say, at the end of the day, man, being in your purpose, man, doing what God has called you to be. And I think a lot of people, man, they think of, accolades can come with it. You know what I'm saying? But I think as long as you're aligned with God when it comes to, why he's called you here, because we all have purpose. And I mean, I think a lot of people can get caught up in titles and, salaries and, all that, but that doesn't mean that that's what God called you to do, So I think success comes when you figure out your purpose and you walk it and understand that, I mean, every day is not going to be perfect, and we'll fall down, we'll make mistakes. But you got to dust yourself off and just know that God forgives you, man. At the end of the day, he loves you. He created us in his image. And, I think at the end of the day, man, you gotta point people towards him. You got to shine your light within the earth, and talk to people about him and be an encouragement, be a light in the darkness.
I like that. Shine your light on the earth, man. That's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty wild how that God, like, he knows what, before we even come out of the womb, he knows what's going to happen our whole lifetime. He has it all planned out for us, and we're not even out of the womb yet. Like, it's so wild. But
look, he knew you in your mother womb. You feel me?
Right? For real, man. It's wild stuff. Like, and like, there's so many people that go to their grave with their gift still in them, like they never were able to tap that gift that they had. And so for the why do you put your 2 feet on the ground every morning?
For me, man, it just goes back to purpose. I feel that at the end of the day, man, if God gives me the breath in my body, to wake up every morning,
right,
I'll make sure that whatever I have to do, I get it fulfilled. I think at the end of the day, life is so precious. I think, a lot of people sometimes can kind of take life for granted. And I'm like, man, go past the hospital, past a children's hospital, and see what, people are dealing with on a daily basis. And then look at your life and you start to understand, like, man, I'm truly blessed. I got 10 fingers. I got, 10 toes, I can wake up. I don't have breathing issues. And, so it's little things that sometimes we can take for granted. And, for me, man, just understanding that, if he allows me to wake up, then I haven't fulfilled my purpose yet. I still have to keep going. And, just being a blessing to others, man, just trying to help others and, fulfill my needs and my goals, that I set for myself, but also just being a blessing to other people, and I think at the end of the day, man, if you can point people towards God, man, that's all he wanted. What they do after that, is, between them and God, but you gotta lead them to the water, and once you get them there, man, if they decide to drink, you just know that, hey, you let them there, what they decide that, that's between them and God.
Amen.
Like, amen. That's right, man. They say to measure a man's greatness is, like his impact on others around him, and like positivity and all that, man. So it's pretty cool. I got a quote for you guys. It's actually focus on the daily, and not the dream, but let the dream shape what you do daily. That's really, really good quote to live by, man. But,
it's deep.
It's so hard, man. It's so hard. Like, it's so easy to look ahead like 6 months, instead of 2 hours from now or whatever.
Right.
Man, I work out with a guy from church, man. And, part of our goal was, I wanted to get back, and back into shape and just keep my strength. And he wanted to, lose a few pounds, get back in shape. And, our motto is, man, one day at a time, one brick at a time,
right.
And I think, once you get that mindset of, man, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to take this day as it is. I'm going to enjoy the day. I'm going to take full advantage of it. Because you never know tomorrow, you might not see tomorrow, so being able to live in the moment. Yes, we got future goals. We got stuff we want to do down the line.
Of course.
just being able to, enjoy the day, enjoy the people around you, your friends, your family. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's at.
Nice, man. Very nice. Well, I really appreciate you stopping by the old BoomerCast, man. It's great talking to you, Brandon.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all having me, man.
Are you going to be at the spring game?
You said what? I missed it.
Are you going to be at the spring game?
When is the spring game, man? I got to put
23rd.
April 23rd. I'm about to put on my calendar, man. I don't know
what we're going to be there, Brandon Lewis.
Hopefully that's the plan. Got a wedding that weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice. I'm really excited to see this Dylan Gabriel and Marvin Mims and Theo Weiss.
It's gonna be good.
Braden Willis, that dude's a dog, man.
I'm telling you, Venables, he gonna have them right, man. I ain't even concerned.
No,
I ain't even concerned. Right.
Not a bit, man. Well, can I get a boomer sooner? Texas sucks on my way out.
Boomer sooner, baby. Texas always
right.
gonna suck.
That's right, baby. All right, man. I appreciate you, big dog.
All right, man. Y'all be safe, man.